Good evening! Happy Thursday! It's 7:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's time for a free refill, none other than episode 40 of it. And what a special way to have episode 40 is today. We've got the Primetime NFL Awards. Woo! A very exciting time. First off, I want to say that it has been an amazing 2025 NFL season, one that I have enjoyed with vivid fruition. I am very excited for all the awards that we will be presenting tonight, all of which voted on by myself, the one voter, the only vote that matters, as well as some bonus awards, as well as if you feel that there is an award that I am missing, do not fret, because I can add it immediately. I will add it and vote on it in 2 minutes, and you'll get to see what award that will be. So I am very excited. I will give you all a couple minutes to get in. I know I just kicked off because it's only minute 3. For you guys who were waiting on the NFL 2025 award show, so I know it was a big moment for prime time. So I'm looking very much excited, and also let me see what this is looking like right here. Hold on, let me pull up the actual. Look at that! Look at the big trophy with that big old logo in the middle. How are you not about to be completely entertained by what is about to be on display? Come on, folks! It is time for the Primetime Awards. Get hype and get ready. I think, if I double check, and let me make sure that I'm accurate on this. 1, 2 through 19. Looks like it's 18 awards. We have 18 outstanding awards to give. I apologize for not also being able to put something up on the community tab to be able to vote. However, we've got 18 astounding awards to be presenting this evening. And if there's an award that you would like to see be presented tonight, do not fret. You are free to comment it. I will make it up. I can make it up in like 45 seconds to a minute, and I will present it as well. So, if there are any awards that you do want to see before the end of the show, do not worry. I will have them all up and ready. So, let's give it up for Jay. Jay, how we doing? I hope you are excited for an incredible show that we're about to put on here. It's going to be amazing. He said, let's get it. Here the boys are in the green room awaiting the show, saying, do we got a blooper of the year? You know what? That's a good point. We don't quite have a blooper of the year. That's a good point, Jay. I had the play of the year, so I'm glad you caught that. We got to get a big-time blooper of the year. I'm trying to think about there are a lot of good ones to choose from. I know that much for sure. This is also going to be like, man, there is definitely one that I do want to have up here. It's not really a blooper, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good one, personally. You know what? Yeah, let me grab this one, because I think this one's very personal to me. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but I do want to make sure it is in. Let's put that. And yeah, obviously, listen, There's gonna be some massive, big old bias in here. I'll tell you right now. I am astounded for this. So let me pull that up. Where is it? I want to make sure I want to be able to watch the play as well at some point. I think this will work for now. Oh, what? It doesn't. That one? Come on. We all know what we're. Oh yeah, this one. This. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll do blooper. Because I think in all fairness, the only reason I will say, I'll explain this when we get the blooper one when we get to it. But I've got my own personal. Oh, you know what? There were some really. Let me you know what? Let me do a recap of just to see what we're thinking about for the worst plays of the year. And I'll I'll figure something out. I know there were some really bad ones. Just trying to think. I don't know. There's like a lot of big ones that there was some. But I think I am gonna stick with what I have chosen. I'm ready. Just finish up the mashed potatoes and the hamsters for dinner. Excited for this. Alrighty. Well then, in that case, let's get into it. By the end, of course, if there's one that you feel like I missed out on, please let me know and I can cook it up in like a minute or so. Just gotta let me have my own thoughts on it. But first off, let's get. Oh my god, I keep going to the wrong one. There we go. There it is. The Primetime End of the Year Awards. I am very excited. Let me just confirm. Also going to confirm that everything is in order. Alrighty. I'm very excited. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Primetime End of the Year Awards for the 2025 NFL season. We've got a lot of them to get into in this one. So sit back, relax, let your host with the red and the blue and I scrapped this together. This thing is too big for me. Like, just see if I lift my arms, like I'm like a football player. Who's it? Like I feel like one of Kingpin. Like if Kingpin had like a right-hand man, this would be him. Just going All right. Enough jibber jabber. Let's get right into the awards. First, we have to kick it off with none other than the MVP of the league. And there were, of course, many different options for the MVP of the league. Of course, the main finalists being May, Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, Christian McCaffrey. Those are like the main big four. I think there was one fifth one that I do not remember. But you know what? It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 NFL MVP, given by Philip White of Primetime, is none other than Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, 40 plus touchdowns. Absolutely was the best quarterback. Led all quarterbacks in passing yards. Led them all in touchdowns. Had a very crisp, 45 to 8 interception ratio. It's very crisp in comparison to the rest of the league. And he was in one of the toughest divisions all year. He's been elite. He has been elite. I know we want to talk about Drake May and Trevor Lawrence, and they deserve their credit. But I think what Matthew Stafford has done this year, undeniably, and I think the playoffs all the more prove that. Of course, actual awards will get determined by the regular season. But if we're looking at Matthew Stafford and what he has done, I mean, it's not even a comparison. Let me pull up the numbers. Everybody's going to pull up the numbers, and everyone's going to see Stafford. Go scroll down on your phone, go down to ESPN. You're going to see a little thing. First in passing yards, first in passing touchdowns, fourth in QBR at 71. This man has done everything he's needed to make sure that this LA Rams team could go as far as it could. And listen, look at the playoffs. Drake May played like mostly a bum, and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Stafford played his heart out and played incredible, and yet it was not enough to get by the Seattle Seahawks. And there's no way you're looking at the Seattle Seahawks game, the NFC Championship game, and putting it on Stafford. Matthew Stafford is my MVP. Book it. Book it, baby. Let's see. Look at what everyone's saying. Oh, Marcus is in the building. Let me get in. Let me applause in Marcus and give Stafford some applause for winning a big time MVP award. Of course, Marcus loves it. Jays, I see you, Stafford. Let's go. Matthew Stafford is not here to accept his award tonight. Accepting it on his behalf is Jared Goff. Jared, come up and claim Matthew Stafford's award. Go on and pass it down to him. He's too old. He can't be running around like that. Matthew Stafford is the MVP. It's really non-negotiable. To me, it's non-negotiable. Matthew Stafford deserves this MVP. It's just not close. Now, Stafford, thank you. We appreciate it. Now, on to our next. Of course, starting off with a bang, but there are a lot of good awards I think people are going to enjoy as well. Starting with next, the Offensive Player of the Year. Now, I wasn't going to pick Stafford because he's not really in the nomination, but I think based on the narrative of Offensive Player of the Year, I think there are a lot of guys that do have some sort of connection. I know Chris McCaffrey's a big name out there, Puka Nacua, but the man led the league in receiving yards and is going to be playing in a little over a week for the Super Bowl. Can we give a round of applause to Jackson Smith-Njigba of the Seattle Seahawks, leading the NFL with 1,700 yards, catching 10 touchdowns. He had a Justin Jefferson-esque year, and everybody wants to say, well, Sam Darnold, is he good or is he not? What does it matter when he's got this beast, this absolute freak, making one-handed catches in the NFC Championship game and having such a great year from start to finish? Puka did miss a game, so that's why I kind of dinged him here a little bit. It was very close in the one vote that was mine. But JSN, congratulations. You are Philip White's 2025 Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, so many big games, even in games where he didn't necessarily have a 125 or 150-yard performance. The performance that he had, specifically, I remember the start at the beginning of the year. Week 4 against Arizona, Seattle was dominating that game. They were up 2 possessions, and JSN was able to separate towards the end of the game, despite not having a great game, to win it. JSN has not just been productive, he has been a huge part of why the Seattle Seahawks are winning football games. And what I have seen from Jackson Smith-Njigba has been nothing short of immaculate. He has played some incredible football and has cemented himself as a part of one of the NFL's top receivers. I mean, if you'd said that at the beginning of the year, you would have sounded kind of senile. If you were trying to say Jackson Smith-Njigba's top 3, you would have been laughed out of the building. And now it is the consensus that JSN is up there with the elite of the elite wide receivers. Got to give him credit for an incredible, amazing year. So hats off to JSN for getting completely changing people's minds. I did not think he would be as good. I didn't even think he'd be this good this year. And for what he was been able to produce, I mean, folks, let the numbers speak for themselves when we're looking at Jackson Smith-Njigba. Let the numbers speak for themselves. Reading this off right now, 119 catches, 4th in the league. Led the league in catches and yards with 1,793 and caught 10 TD passes in a year where not many guys dominate. Like, I mean, we can say Devontae Adams did, but outside of that, not many guys were dominating catching touchdowns this year. 15.1 yards per catch. 15.1. That is impressive work. That is good work. That is a man who is up to the task. That is a man who knows what he is doing. That is a man who is him. And that man is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Jason getting ready for the Super Bowl. His brother and former Yankee prospect, Kanan Smith-Njigba, will accept the award on his behalf. Thank you, Kanan. Come on up and receive JSN's award. I'm very... Come on, get Jackson's award up on here. I didn't even realize that his brother was a baseball player either, Marcus. That he was released from the Cardinals. Get Kanan up here. Let him get the award. He's obviously preparing for the Super Bowl, so get him on up here and come on, let me give a round of applause to them as well. So let me just get that all up in there. Oh my gosh, got a spectator. No, come on, give me 2 seconds. Well, all right. So there we go. Jackson Smith-Njigba is your Offensive Player of the Year for 2025, as voted on by Philip White. Now, next up, we have our Defensive Player of the... What are you doing? I'm doing... What? Whatever. Okay. Next up, our Defensive Player of the Year. I'm not...
Sponsored by...
We're not sponsored. There's no sponsorship. What are you doing? Why do you smell? What was that smell? No, it's something else.
Smells like snow?
No, that's not snow. No, that's something else.
Motor oil?
Yeah, there it is. That's what it is. You smell like you reek of motor oil. Okay. Oh my gosh. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled programming. For the Defensive Player of the Year of 2025, it pains me to do this. being a Steelers fan, but it's really a non-negotiable who the defensive player of the year is. The defensive player of the year for 2025 is Myles Garrett. It is. It's not negotiable. When you break the sack record, you should be the defensive player of the year. 23 sacks in 17 games. It's an incredibly impressive accomplishment for one of, if not the most dominant defensive player in the game right now. What Myles Garrett did for the Cleveland Browns. I don't think the Cleveland Browns win even 5 games. They might win 2 if he's not on that roster. For what he was able to do, I gotta give Myles his props. I gotta give Myles his credit. He was the only real driving force on an awful Cleveland Browns team. That's the reality. And look, it pains me as a Steelers fan, but this year Myles Garrett absolutely cleared every single pass rusher in the National Football League. It clearly cleared every single defensive player in the National Football League on his way to a 23 sack campaign. It was hard to set aside my bias, but there was no bias I think could have even gotten in the way. I honestly think what will happen, and this is going to be kind of petty. I do think this will happen though. I think that in the actual voting that will happen for this award, I believe that one player, like Myles, will be so close to unanimous and just be short one. And the reason will be because one guy was like, "Oh, I don't really like one Steelers writer will not like Myles Garrett." In the future, that'll be me, but not this year. So I'm just in the future, and like a few decades from now, that might be me with some other Cleveland Browns defender, but it's not me quite this year. But it will be somebody. I can almost guarantee it. But regardless, gonna give a congratulations to Myles Garrett. Congrats, Cleveland. You get your one. You get your big guy up there. He's the defensive player. Myles Garrett was on his way to accept his award, but decided to stop by the home of Mason Rudolph for a reunion. Take from it what you will. Interesting. Hopefully he'll accept the award just to hit Rudolph on the head with it. We'll see what happens. Marcus saying, "Get that man a sponsor." Yeah, it's my father walking in. Getting a good old Jenny Light sponsor. I just got that. I just got back from buying those Jenny Lights and was going to treat myself, and now one is just gone. So, but hey, it's what's the old saying? It's the phantom tax. It's the tax, man. Gotta pay the beer tax in this house. That's how it goes. Moving on, we've got our next award to give out, which is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Offensive Rookie of the Year. There were a couple really solid rookies this year. A couple good quarterbacks shined through in the form of Jackson Dart, but I hit the arrow. I literally grabbed my phone, I hit the arrow, I spoiled it. It's Ted McMillan. Teteroa McMillan is your Offensive Rookie of the Year. I gotta say this was a weird one. This was a weird one just because there were a lot of different rookies that played well, but I think it had to be Tet. I think you had guys like Travion Henderson who came on in the season late. I think you had guys like Emeka Egbuka who came on in the season early. But to me, looking at the game log, looking at the numbers, Teteroa McMillan was the most consistent. Tet McMillan was by far the most consistent wide receiver. It felt like he was consistent game in, game out. 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. I thought it was the best overall, most consistent wide receiver. There was no one else that really came close. The only argument I could see maybe is Jackson Dart. Look. And again, Dart missed significant time, and if he had played the full season, I think Dart easily would have cleared. But the fact that Tet was able to play the full season, put up 1,000 yards with Bryce Young as his quarterback on an offense that really hadn't seen a good wide receiver one, to be honest, since that 1 year with Calvin Benjamin, and then before that, Steve Smith Sr. Like, there really wasn't a strong-handed receiver one that you felt confident in. Like, nobody felt that way about Devin Funchess. Nobody felt that way about Ted Ginn. Nobody even feels that way about Xavier Legette. For Tet McMillan, this is what needed to happen. I think congratulations to Teteroa McMillan of the Carolina Panthers. You get my vote. You get my vote. You get my vote just barely. I think if Igbuka had kept up his pace, I think he would have clearly won it, but he fell off a cliff the second half of the year, and it just wasn't quite enough. He also, and I mean, really, it does. I kind of miss, I don't know about y'all, but I do miss Calvin Benjamin. I miss rookie Calvin Benjamin. That's about it, though. I don't miss much else about him. People used to say there used to be a B on his chest, but it's not 13. It was just used to be a B because of how big he got. But regardless, congratulations to Tat. Congratulations to Carolina Panthers for finally having a future wide receiver one they can use for the next, hopefully, decade. And props to Tat McMillan for having a great year. Jay's Mark saying it's not Dart is what you were getting at. Yeah, I wasn't picking Dart. Sorry. Not that I think Jackson Dart couldn't have won it. And not that I'm saying he even won't. But I just think in this case, that wasn't quite the guy. That had to be the guy. Jay also saying Tedero McMillan wanted to be here, but the rookie dinner bill made his funding low. Thanks the Academy for the award. Dart, I'm sorry, Ted. I'm sorry they have to pay your bills. Sorry that the rookie funding is so low. I appreciate your thanks and congratulations on you know what? You know how we're gonna call them? We're gonna call them Primetime'S. We're gonna call them PTs. Your PT award. What it is, man. Get your PT award here. All right. Next up on the docket, after the Offensive Rookie of the Year, of course, comes, if I can get it to load, the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, there's an incredible list of candidates. Carson Schlesinger, Nick Amanwari. But there is, really, I mean, two. There's two. But neither of those guys are getting it because, to me, the Defensive Rookie of the Year is third round, 96th pick of the Atlanta Falcons, Xavier Watts. Xavier Watts, 5 interceptions as a rookie, 2 of which picking off the MVP in week 17 of the regular season. Maybe got overlooked because the Atlanta Falcons were hot dookie buns for the most of the year. But give this man his flowers. For the guy that was going to get picked on, playing opposite Jesse Bates, teams were going to go after this young rookie, they were going to find out if he could play. He showed them he can play. 5 interceptions, 61 tackles. This man went to work for, as much as I hate to say it, he did kind of go to work for his little head coach over there, Raheem Morris. He went to work with him despite the fact that he struggled. But I'm going Xavier. It is hard to get turnovers in this league, and turnovers are the biggest deciding factors of games. Schlesinger played well. Yes, he made a lot of tackles. Yes. Nick Amanwari makes some plays too. But at the end of the day, Xavier Watts is the man. Sorry, Amanwari, and I'm sorry, Schlesinger. But I'm also not sorry because Xavier Watts is that guy. Xavier Watts went ahead and did his thing. He went out and proved that he can ball, and he was getting pick after pick after pick. Listen, the NFL leader was 7. To force turnovers in this game, it is hard to do, and it's one of the biggest deciding factors of who wins games. Xavier Watts made play after play. I'm giving him his flowers because the NFL media will not do it. Falcons media will do it. Falcons will give him credit, undoubtedly. But to me, it has to be Xavier. Xavier Watts! Woo! Very excited for him. So congratulations to Xavier. Congratulations, my boy. Well done. Well done. Well deserved. Well earned. Well earned, my friend. Now, next up on the docket, after Xavier, and the Defensive Rookie of the Year, of course, the Comeback Player of the Year. There are a few guys out there, a lot of guys really from last year who came back from injury and played incredibly hard-nosed, physical football, who came in and wanted to get it done. Wait a minute, it seems Jay is saying we made a mistake and somehow got Xavier Watts and TJ Watt confused. Accepting for Xavier Watts is TJ Watt. Thanks, Jay. Thanks. I'm glad TJ's coming up. At least TJ's accepting an award this year. Good on him. Oh, my goodness. Past all that, we have our Comeback Player of the Year. Now, the Comeback Player of the Year for prime time There are a lot of guys out there, a lot of guys who came back from injury, who came back from bad seasons to come in and play well this year. But to me, it's one guy. It is one guy who had to, go to Germany to find out if his Achilles was going to be okay. Only played in 3 games in 2024, but in 2025, played the full script. Unfortunately, the 49ers had to sacrifice half their roster in order to do it. But with 2,000 total yards from scrimmage, once again, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. It is Christian McCaffrey. What a season from 23 CMC. Everything. Listen, you could talk about Mac Jones and Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy and George Kittle and all these great guys. But to see CMC put a full season in, put a full healthy body of work, and be really the main driving force as to how the 49ers were able to be as good as they were this year, along with Robert Saleh coaching some good defense. What CMC did this year, the only reason I think there's any amount of criticism is like, oh, well, listen, he only had 3.9 yards per carry. And despite that, he's got 2,000 scrimmage yards in another season. How do you not give this man his props? Second in the NFL in carries, was an absolute workhorse. 1,202 yards, that's 8th in the league. 10 TDs. Did average 3.9 yards per carry, but in receiving, 10 rushing TDs, 7 receiving TDs, 924 yards, 102 catches, and only 2 fumbles, and didn't lose either one. This man has been incredible. This man has done so many incredible things for the San Francisco 49ers organization. He was incredible in Carolina, and for him to be able to put the season together that he did, considering last year and where he would be at what? This was his age. He was 29. He's about to enter 30, and yet normally that's where, running backs start to fall off. No, not CMC. CMC bounced back in a big way in 2025. So congratulations to Christian McCaffrey. Hats off. Christian McCaffrey, I don't know who it's going to be. It might be Ed. Ed might be coming up. But congratulations to CMC. What a year for him. I think, one of the most he's appreciated, but I think he still does not get the flowers that he deserves. So hats off to CMC for being the comeback player of the year. Marcus also commenting, my parlay was busted. I had Phillip Rivers winning it. Oh, shoot. Well, man, that's a tough parlay to have busted. Phillip Rivers was close, though. There was some consideration, but with what CMC did this year, it was too crazy to not pass up. And then Christian McCaffrey thanks the German doctors, his family and friends, and the team for the award. You know who he doesn't thank? I'll tell you who he doesn't thank is that power plant that's over there that's hurting all the Niners players. They definitely don't appreciate that. But congratulations, Christian McCaffrey, for winning Comeback Player of the Year. Now, next on the docket is the Coach of the Year. This is a tough one, and the reason why I say it's a tough one is because there were a lot of good coaches this year who I thought were very much deserving for what they had done with their respective teams, with their respective franchises. But there is one guy that I think stands out above the pack, and believe it or not, he is coaching in this year's Super Bowl. To me, Mike McDonald, come on down. I know you're in the Super Bowl, but I think Mike McDonald should be Coach of the Year. And my analysis is this. Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel, they were all great in year one, and they turned it around for a lot of bad organizations. But I think what we're missing here is that Mike McDonald doesn't have necessarily a Josh Allen at his helmstead. He didn't get like a number 3 or number 1 pick in the draft to be able to be his quarterback. He had to, I guess technically he did number 3 overall pick Sam Darnold. That's not the point. The point is he brings in Sam Darnold on a cheap contract. Nobody really expects Seattle to do what they did this year. They won the number 1 seed. They got the NFC West. They are now in the Super Bowl. And I know what Ben Johnson has done and what Liam Cohen has done, who I love as well, and what Mike Vrabel has done. But for me, what Mike McDonald was able to do, I don't think anybody expected this Seattle Seahawks team to be able to get to 14 wins, considering it all. Considering that they had just moved off DK Metcalf. Considering that many people would have argued that Sam Darnold was a lateral move. Considering that this was already a very tough division with teams like the Rams and the 49ers who were expected to bounce back off of an easy schedule. And yet, all of that, led to Mike Macdonald and the Seahawks not only winning their division, but beating their divisional opponents in the playoffs. To me, that matters, and I know the voters will not be able to consider that, but this man should be the coach of the year. Not just based on one season, but based on a complete body of work he's put over into multiple seasons to get this team to this point. I think that has to have a little bit of context when we talk about who the coach should be. To me, this is the man. This is the man who should be the coach of the year 2025, Mike Macdonald. This is the man who got them the 1 seed with a roster no one thought coming into the season would have been able to do it. I'm rolling with him for my coach of the year for 2025. We have Mike Tomlin talking in the chat right now. Mike Tomlin, thank you for coming out and making an appearance here. I was going to say, let's see what he says. I stood up for a second. I thought I was winning. Congratulations, Mike. I'll accept the award for you since your Super Bowl game planning. Well, congratulations. Mike Tomlin, you can come up and accept the award for Mike Macdonald. But as it is, well, very impressive stuff. So thank you, Mike, for coming in and accepting the award. But hats off to Mike Macdonald. He is very clearly the guy, should be the guy for MVP this year, or the coach of the year this year. Next up on our big awards, we actually have a new award that has been introduced. Why are you holding? Why do you got Sheldon out here?
Sheldon, co-host.
Sheldon's he's been chilling over there for a while. Sheldon's. You just said Jenny Light. You just grabbed the Jenny Light out of the beer. Said that was. Now you're gonna say the Pabst. What do you mean you don't?
We have multiple.
And the NFL doesn't have multiple beer sponsors. They just have They just Bud Light. All right, well, no, they have Corona. They switched that. I mute the commercial.
I'm gonna sit back here and listen.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Great. Yeah, very, very nice. Glad to hear it. All right. So, this is actually a brand new award that the NFL has introduced, the Protector of the Year. And this goes, they're finally giving awards out to offensive linemen, which is finally happening. They should have been doing this 10, 20, 30 years ago, but they're finally getting around to it. And the Protector of the Year will actually be an NFL award that is presented at the award show the Saturday before the Super Bowl. However, my Protector of the Year, and I think it's pretty obvious, the Protector of the Year has to go to the best overall offensive lineman, and the guy who is hyper athletic, the guy who is constantly blocking, the guy who is protecting his quarterback's blind side. And to me, that man is none other than Penei Sewell of the Detroit Lions. The Lions did not have the year they wanted. They went 9-8. They missed the playoffs for a team that had that much expectation coming into the year. But Penei Sewell was not part of the reason. This man has had Jared Goff's blind side since he was drafted. He has been one of the best offensive tackles in the league since he has been drafted. What he has done for the Detroit Lions, what he means to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery blocking on that side. Whew! This man is a monster. Not only this man is a great offensive lineman, this man is an athletic freak. They trust him with the ball in his hands. They trust him on end arounds. They trust him to get things done no matter what. What he is a playmaker, and that is why he should be the Protector of the Year. Because listen, a lot of that Detroit Lions offensive line was unable to do the job consistently, but he did it every single week of this year, despite the fact that the Lions have unfortunately missed out on the playoffs. Penei Sewell deserves his props for being the Protector of the Year. So why don't we go ahead and give our man Penei Sewell a big round of applause. And credit to all of the other linemen in this category, to Garrett Bowles, to Brewer. But Penei Sewell takes the metaphorical cake, but hopefully the physical award in real life. So congrats to him. He has been incredible. The whole lineman out of Oregon, man knows what's up. Marcus Lawton also thought this award was for the best player who wears those goofy Guardian caps. I don't even know who that would be. I really don't know who even is the best guy. Probably Jalen Petrie. Well, actually, I'll make that at the end. We'll make a Protector of the Year, and we'll determine who gets the award for who's the best player wearing a Guardian cap. Well, I'll make that one at the end. Moving on, we got to keep cramming through. We don't got all night. We got to get to the next award. And that goes to the play of the year. What is the play of the year? There were so many great ones to choose from. I mean, there were a lot of nail-biting games with a lot of incredible plays. But to me, there are some plays that are great. But, like, we've seen that before. We've seen players maybe make a one-handed catch. We've seen players get incredible strip, sacks, scoops, and scores. We've seen players house it from 99 yards on one end to 99 yards on the other as a defender and as a receiver. However, to me, the one play of the year has to be the play that just makes no sense. And this year, that play was undoubtedly Kenneth Gainwell's catch against the Detroit Lions. Just look at that. How does he catch this? For those who, of course, watched the game, Alex Anzalone is completely draped on a running back, mind you. Not a wide receiver, not a tight end, but a running back. And Kenneth Gainwell gets dragged down to the ground. He's got one left hand under it, then is able to put his right hand on top of the ball, clasp it, fully gain possession, get up, and score with what was seconds left in the first half. If the Steelers are unable to make that play happen, I mean, they ultimately do still win the division, even if they would have lost that game to the Lions, because they would have beaten the Baltimore Ravens in the last game of the regular season. But that play is absurd. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think we'll see anything like it truly repeated for years to come. This has been just seeing that play happen, I was stunned. I'm still flabbergasted this day. I still don't know how he caught it. The only reason I think he caught it is because I told him to. I told him go make a play, and that's why, to me, Phillip White's play of the year has to be Kenneth Gainwell's catch against the Detroit Lions. Just something out of nowhere. Would have never expected that. So congratulations to Kenneth Gainwell for making what Phillip White deems the play of the year. Yay. Moving on along from Kenneth Gainwell's play of the year, of course, there has to be a blooper. There has to be, if there's going to be a great play, there's going to be a play that's going to leave everyone distraught and in complete emotional distress and cannot believe that it could have possibly ever happened. Now listen, this blooper's not the blooper in the traditional sense. But from what I saw on social media after seeing this play happen, I couldn't help but have it be my personal blooper of the year. And that blooper of the year has to be none other than Tyler Loop's missed field goal at the end of the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the regular season. To close out the regular season, Tyler Loop hooks it wide right in what was a very makeable kick for the Ravens to go to the playoffs, to give Lamar Jackson a shot to try to go on a playoff run and make a Super Bowl. And he pulls it wide to the right and ends up having the Pittsburgh Steelers win the AFC North. I mean, Baltimore had a lot of crazy losses throughout the entirety of the year, from the Bills' insane comeback in Week 1 all the way to the end of this season to this final missed field goal, to even Zay Flowers fumbling it against the Patriots. There were a lot of freak losses that the Ravens have had in the last decade, but especially this year. And this was just the blooper to top it off. So I guess commiserations is the word for Tyler Loop winning blooper of the year. But I'll tell you right now, I had one of the biggest smiles. I was down on my knees thinking the game was over, and you could make a case that it should have been, but it was not, as Tyler Loop gets the award for blooper of the year. I don't know if I have something that's a negative soundbite. I'd have to see. We'll go with this. That's probably good. So very nice. Very nice.
Glad I could help.
Very nice. I don't know if it picked up, but very nice. Very nice award. Marcus saying, we invited Eric from D&E to accept this award for Mr. Loop. He unsurprisingly declined. Hey man, an award's an award. I think he should consider at least accepting it. I would accept the award, even if it was a blooper. Listen, sometimes these things happen. That should be something that Tyler Loop should, come in and hold with pride. Hold with a sense of, that won't happen again. I swear that won't happen again. So, congratulations, or commiserations, rather, to Tyler Loop. Now, we move into some of our own more custom awards. This is the meme of the year in the NFL, and if you have kept up with the NFL this year, nothing comes remotely close to the meme of the year. I can give an award for whatever I want, and that meme needs to be the JJ McCarthy 9. It was everywhere. This thing infested your favorite quarterback's life. No matter who your favorite quarterback is, I guarantee they had at least one game where they were edited, photoshopped to look like JJ McCarthy and his inner alter ego 9. From Sam Darnold to Josh Allen to Lamar and Joe Burrow, it didn't matter if your guy was top of the charts like a Josh Allen or the bottom of the charts like a Geno Smith. He was J.J. McCarthy at one point this year. He was photoshopped to look exactly like this image, and you laughed every time. It was the meme of the year. By far, seeing quarterbacks get 9'd every single week, from whether you would get it on Thursday Night Football if there was a bad performance, on Sunday night, on Monday night, on Saturday if there was a Saturday game, on Friday if it was Black Friday. This happened every single time, and it never failed to get a laugh. It got people hooked. This was the meme of the year for the NFL, was J.J. McCarthy. What? 9. His alter ego. Yes, that's what he calls it. 9. Well, they call it. They call it 9. It's too funny. I thought it was amazing. Every single time someone's photoshopped as this. Moving along. The Josh Allen Experience Award. This one I had come up with a little bit on. I had a couple people come in and say this should be one. The Josh Allen Experience Award defines a quarterback who is incredibly exceptional, then does something incredibly stupid, and then comes back and does something incredibly exceptional once again. And that award has to go to none other than Bears quarterback Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams embodied the Josh Allen experience this year 1 billion %. Every single game, it was the Bears struggling to get the ball rolling. They'd be trailing. They'd be struggling to get the ball on the move. They'd be turning it over at bad spots and bad situations. And yet somehow Caleb would storm back, make these incredible throws. I mean, we all saw it. We all saw Rams-Bears in the divisional round. Caleb Williams backpedaling 20 yards just to flick of the wrist off the back foot to Cole Kmet for the game-tying touchdown to send it to overtime. This man, so many people had doubters. So many people doubted, well, maybe, oh no, does Caleb Williams work with Ben Johnson? Oh, he clearly works. He works, and it's a treat to watch. Caleb, congratulations. You embodied the Josh Allen experience this year, and it was some of the most impressive cinema anybody had watched all year. The first...
I have a question.
Yes?
I wouldn't call it the Caleb Williams.
Because Josh Allen did it first. Yeah. That's because Josh Allen was that. Right.
Now, kid.
Well, when it's called the Josh Allen. You don't call the Lombardi Trophy the Seattle Seahawks trophy just because the Seahawks won the trophy. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, wait.
They're all given by me. That's the point. They're all given out by me. I don't understand what we're talking about here. Jay in the chat saying that picture looks like a reenactment of Murray's face before he commits the crime. That's crime documentary. Wait, which one? Hold on, which one? Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. The 9 meme. Oh my gosh. Anyway, moving along to what I'm going to call the literal worst outcome award. Now, this came across my page recently. Came up into mine because I had there's a specific quarterback that did not particularly play well this year and went from what could have been what is now a team in the Super Bowl to now went to the team that has the number 1 overall pick. Geno Smith, everybody. Geno Smith was traded from Seattle to the Raiders and was supposed to be, I don't know, average. He was not. He threw 19 touchdown passes to 17 interceptions, was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and was so bad that the Raiders now have the number 1 overall pick, and the team that got Sam Darnold to replace him in the form of the Seattle Seahawks will now be playing for a chance to win the Super Bowl. This is literally the worst outcome for Geno Smith, by far. And also, not that needs to be said, but Geno also, his coach is fired. So not only is he on a team with the number 1 overall pick, will draft a quarterback to replace him, and doesn't have a coach, will have a coach that probably won't be in support of Geno Smith starting in the future, but also, the team he was just on is now in the Super Bowl. I mean, if you really want to, and also, Tyler Lockett, how about that bad luck? He gets to the Seahawks the year after they make the Super Bowl, and doesn't make it the entire time. And then the second he leaves, the Seattle Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. So darn shame for Tyler Lockett too. But for Geno, it is very much one of the worst outcomes I've seen in quite some time. So that was quite a bad one for Geno. So commiserations to Geno Smith for quite literally the worst outcome. Jay's in chat saying, this is crazy. Honored to get the Josh Allen Experience Award. Big love to my teammates, coaches, and all the fans out there. Y'all made this possible. Let's keep grinding. Well, thanks, Jay. I didn't realize that you were also Caleb Williams, but I appreciate it. Jay also from Geno saying, well, didn't think I'd be taking home the literal worst outcome award. Shout out to my team, the fans, and everyone who keeps it real. Guess we live and learn. Let's bounce back stronger. I don't think Geno's bouncing back, Jay. I think Geno is what we call a steak. We turn him over with a fork and we say he's done. No. He's done. What?
The resume. Career change.
What's Geno gonna do?
He's still a young guy. He can do something.
What are you gonna do with Geno?
Shovel snow.
You're gonna get Geno Smith to come here to shovel snow in upstate New York.
Why not?
I guess I'll give him a call. I'll call Geno Smith and we'll arrange for him to shovel snow. All right.
Person.
I guess so. What are you paying him? He's gonna have to take a significant pay cut.
I throw in room and board.
You throw in room and board. You're gonna have a third. What? How old is Geno? Geno, like 36-year-old former quarterback, just to play, living in your home, shoveling snow. I think he's fine. I think he's got a nice house. I don't think he's gonna have issues paying the bills for a little while.
All right. Well, if he needs a hand,
okay,
he knows where to go.
Gotcha.
I'll look him up.
I'll let him know. Let's. Mark saying I don't know what that arm. Mark is saying I don't know what that arm. The snow would be everywhere. I don't know if you'd be able to have it. You wouldn't have it off the driveway. You just have it in new spots. Best reality show ever. What? Geno and the Whites? The Geno Smith and the Whites. That's like a sitcom, Jay. All right, next award. We have the Welcome to the NFL award. This is given out to a rookie quarterback or a rookie in general. I may have spoiled it by saying rookie quarterback, but this is given out to a rookie that comes in with all this hype, all this media exposure, super much thinking that he is the next big thing, but then he gets hit with that big old smack of reality, and we all really know who this was at this point. It was none other than Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur legendary Sanders. Shedeur primetime Sanders. The son of Deion Sanders. Got introduced to the NFL real quick. Number one, let's be real. Thought he'd go in the first round, failed his interviews, gets drafted in the 5th. Comes to Cleveland expected to be the starter. No, he's third on the depth chart. They needed to trade away Joe Flacco and eventually play Dylan Gabriel for the majority of the year just for Shedeur Sanders to what the no, why did it do that? Hold on. We got technical. Here we go. And boom. Perfect. Fixed it. Of course that came up. With that all being said, Shedeur 100% got hit with a cold, hard face of reality while throwing for 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in the games that he started. And to top it all off, somehow he gets gifted with a Pro Bowl purely based on the fact that every single quarterback in the AFC is injured and also his last name. Welcome to the NFL, Shedeur. And guess what? Cleveland is already looking for a quarterback in the form of either Ty Simpson in the draft or Malik Willis in free agency. Those are both names that have been floated around. So congratulations, Shedeur. You made it to the NFL, but have yet to prove about anything else. Welcome to the NFL. Commiserations to receiving this award. Because I'll tell you right now, I saw Tyler Shuck, and I saw Jackson Dart, and I even saw Cam Ward. And I think all 3 of them were leaps and bounds ahead of this 5th round pick. Shedeur?
Think he'll step out and get shit?
No, that's a big shadow. That's a massive shadow. That's a massive shadow.
He's still young yet.
Yeah, but when you're throwing Hollywood parties, you're getting drafted in the 5th round like crazy. I don't think it translates. And listen, get drafted to Cleveland. Look. Seen their jersey? Seen the jersey with all the last names? That's just 20 years. That's not even the all time. That's this century. That's this century of quarterbacks. That's what people don't get about that list of Browns jersey names. That's just this century.
You gotta start some.
They had a guy. His name was but everybody starts somewhere. But nobody ends it in Cleveland. Not even LeBron. Not even LeBron, the best athlete to grace the entire state of Ohio, is going to finish it in Cleveland.
Don't diss.
I am not dissing on Cleveland. I am dissing on the entire state of Ohio.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow?
Hurts.
I'm sure Ohio is very concerned about my feelings about it. We'll find out. We'll find out how Ohio feels about Philip White's opinion of Ohio.
Listen, Ohio, it wasn't me.
Right. Of course. Mark is saying he's going to buy another watch after this win. Exactly. He's just going to buy another watch. And they'll end up with Geno Smith. See, Geno can go to Cleveland. He'll have a new job in Cleveland.
Get one of those watches.
He probably has one of those. I don't think he does, though. I don't think he's got one like an actual watch. Like that's his thing. He'll do. But I'm like, it's been done before. People have done that. There's nothing new to that. Exactly. Moving it along, we've got the You Deserved Better award from the guy that I think deserved a little humbling to the guy that I think didn't deserve his season to go the way it did, based on the way it was going. Without further ado,
Aaron Rodgers.
Presenting the I don't know about Aaron Rodgers. Presenting the You Deserve Better award, Daniel Jones of the Indianapolis Colts. What a darn shame. For Daniel, who struggled with the New York Giants, who couldn't quite make it work with the Giants, had torn his ACL there, eventually got moved off of, went to Minnesota as a backup for like half a season, and then signed with the Indianapolis Colts on a prove-it deal. Had the Colts at 8-1 and leading the AFC South, and then unfortunately against the Jacksonville Jaguars, tore his Achilles, and the season ended basically then. They had to bring Phillip Rivers out of retirement. It just wasn't the same Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones magic. And it was heartbreaking to see it happen. And it just feels that Daniel Jones deserved better than to just have his Achilles tear. He deserved an opportunity to close out the year, to be able to prove that he has it, that he has an opportunity to succeed on a good team with a good roster. And unfortunately, the football gods intervened and it just wasn't meant to be. I am I am rooting for Daniel Jones next season. I believe he is more than capable of coming back and playing the ball that I know he can play. So, Daniel, rest up, get healthy, take the You Deserve Better award, and come back stronger than ever next year. Next, we have the most surprising team that was good. Which team surprised me the most that ended up being a good team? And I think it wasn't surprising that they were good, because I had them winning the division, but I was shocked that this team was able to win 13 games. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, what Liam Cohen did for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year was nothing short of astounding. When you consider that, number one, this team had 4 wins all of last year to getting 13 wins this year, and on top of that, their number 2 overall pick hurt midway through the year. Their number 1 overall pick last year did not nearly live up to expectations. And yet, and that he was inheriting a terrible defense. And that team completely turned it around, won 13 games, which they needed to win because Houston won 12 to win the division, and winning the AFC South. One of the most impressive things I have seen from Liam Cohen from the Jacksonville Jaguars. This was a huge season. I thought it was the most impressive turnaround, more impressive than New England's, more impressive than Chicago's, at least in my opinion, just based on the fact that Jacksonville has no pedigree for ever succeeding ever, really, at these high levels, and yet Jacksonville, for them to get 13 wins, incredibly impressive. They haven't.
Right about that. But it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt less.
Well, congrats. Congrats. They were the most surprising team that was good. Also, the state of Ohio is commenting, want to fight. The whole state of Ohio, I'd prefer not to. I mean, I'm not saying no.
It wasn't me.
It
wasn't me.
I'm saying I prefer no, but I'll take you on. Just one. It's just one state. How bad could it be? I mean, we could be fighting a lot of things. There's like fighting video games. There's like debate, like I could probably beat the entire state of Ohio in a debate if I got to pick the topic. 100%. I fully believe I could be able to do that. From the most surprising team that was good, we have to give an award for the most surprising team that was bad. And who else would have been that bad team? I think a lot of people would have said they'd be shocked. Hey, we won 10 games. We weren't that bad. I'm talking about a team that only won 6 games this year after being in the Super Bowl last year, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, yes, Mahomes got hurt, but this team was already struggling up until that point. For the Kansas City Chiefs, for the fall-off that they had after losing to the Philadelphia Eagles, they only managed to win 6 games this year. Mahomes went down with a knee injury. It's likely, maybe Travis Kelce's last year. We'll see. But the Kansas City Chiefs completely, absolutely flabbergastingly just were not nearly as good as we would have thought. I thought they'd maybe take a step back from 15 wins last year, but to only have 6 wins this year is remarkable. Yes?
Gonna do the State Farm commercial. Really?
Hey, you want to do them?
I could do them.
Want to do the State Farm commercial?
State Farm. I don't know.
They'll keep on with somebody.
They had everybody.
I'm sure. But I feel as though they'll still be. I think they're probably still in them now. If you watch the Super Bowl, there's probably going to be a commercial with them. Guaranteed going to be at least one State Farm commercial. It's almost like you could bet $1 million on it. Betting odds are just so bad, but it's going to be on there. For the Kansas City Chiefs, they were very clearly the most surprising team that was bad, just because of how bad they were. The biggest collapse of the year. Now, every year there's a team that absolutely starts off hot and caves in towards the end of the year. It's pretty much it's close to guaranteed. And this year, that team was none other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This was a team that was scorching hot. They were talking about being a potential Super Bowl contender to start the year. And then some injuries mounted, but they were still winning games. And then when they started to get healthier, they still couldn't find ways to win games. The 8-9 Carolina Panthers won this division, and despite all odds, somehow, some way, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers completely fell apart. Emeka Egbuka fell off the face of the earth, even with Mike Evans coming back and playing some really good football when he did play, despite being in his early 30s. The Bucs just couldn't do it, and they completely and utterly fell apart. And
Coach.
You're gonna go in? Yeah. I think you'd be worse.
Who?
Yes. What position? All right. Name the position you're playing on the Bucs. Go.
A left guard.
They probably could use a left guard. That's a good point. Well, I don't know. I think you might be in trouble against some of the interior linemen that are in the NFC South. Gonna be able to block Derek Brown? Okay. Good luck. All right. Tampa Bay, you heard it.
Put me in.
You heard it, Tampa Bay. If you want a left guard, go sign my dad. Oh my gosh. And the I believe this is the last one that I had. This is the last one that I have. If you have any other suggestions for awards that I should do real quick, put them in the comments. But I got my last award here. Philip White's favorite player from this year. And
Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's not Aaron Rodgers. I have to tell you, my favorite player from this year, without a doubt, based on the fact that I am a Steelers fan and based on the fact that watching this man was so fun every single time he was there, I gotta tell you, it has to be Darnell Washington. Without a doubt, this man is awesome. This is a 6'7", 280-pound behemoth who needs at least 5 people to tackle him on every given play. You get him the ball in his hands and he starts running forward. It is such a treat. And I was so heartbroken to find out when he had a broken arm and I could not watch him stiff-arm Texans DBs. It would have been, I think he is the best pass catcher that we have, purely based on the fact that he is an absolute unit. The man is a unit. And he was finally being used the correct way, and we need to get him more touches next season. I need to see Darnell Washington running all sorts. I need him expanding his route tree. I need him putting on even more muscle. I need him to grow an extra 6 inches and get up to be 7 feet tall, just bullying the competition. I mean, this man was hurdling over dudes. It did not matter. Was my most entertaining player to watch because every single time he got the ball in his hands, you knew like a stiff arm or a truck was coming every single time. People had to rally to the ball against him because if you didn't, you were getting blasted off to the sideline.
You said it was a watch.
It would not be a treat to be on the other side. It would not. Like, you think Derrick Henry is bad? Getting this man down is next to impossible. All right, you got to push him out of bounds. You better bring your buddies because you're not getting to him. It's not going to happen. It just ain't. And that was my favorite player to watch this year. It had to be Darnell, and it wasn't even close. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are my 2025 NFL awards for prime time. So thank you for tuning in to the NFL Primetime Awards.
Sponsored by...
Did you pick?
Godzilla.
That's a Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's not Godzilla. Well, yeah, but it's marketing. I think they're sponsored by Godzilla. Or maybe they got they sponsor Godzilla. That's a people. Let's see, Marcus saying, I don't know. I think Pops has that Mike Allstott in him. You think you got that Mike Allstott in you? No Mike Allstott?
No. No idea.
He was a Bucks fullback. He was quite the bruiser. I'll give it that. I'll give him that. You could play fullback. Yeah, exactly. Just do blocking, open up the lanes for the backs. I feel like you could do it. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers is in the chat. Let me let Aaron Rodgers know that he's Hold on, the wrong sound effect. Oh my gosh, played the wrong sound effect there.
Aaron Rodgers, tough year for you.
Well, Aaron is saying, got my height and weight wrong. I don't catch passes, but I appreciate this award, Phil. Truly honored. I am your favorite player of the year. And just because of this award, I am announcing Mike McCarthy and I are teaming up for one more year. Aaron, you are 43 years old. You got...
No,
He's giving you the X, man. Well, look, Aaron, with all due respect, you are not Darnell Washington. You are not stiff-armored all these boys all the way there. It's just not happening. I appreciate what you've done. You ain't Darnell Washington. And outside of that, that's all I have for the. Let me pull up the title sequence just so we can have it as a title sequence. Pull it up as the title sequence. So that is it. That is the primetime end of the year NFL awards. You guys got a little cameo there that entire show from. I don't even know that guy. Who is that guy? Who's the guy that just wandered in the house? I have no idea. That was my dad tuning into the show. I don't know if you guys could hear him. I don't know if he ever picked up on the mic because I was noticing it sometimes wasn't. So the chance you didn't hear a single thing he said, but it is what it is. I appreciate you guys for watching. Of course, it was a great year of the NFL. Of course, and of course, I will be back Monday with another free refill episode. So there's that. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for tuning in to the 40th episode, the end of the year awards. I love making this last year, and this year was a very interesting one and fun. I unfortunately had to make a lot of it kind of last minute due to work complications and all, but I was glad I was able to get it done, and I'm glad you guys were able to enjoy and have a good time. Have a good time. So I appreciate everyone showing up and tuning out. Of course, if you liked it, give it a like. If you want, share the award show. See if anybody would be interested in watching that because that was really fun. I'll probably be looking to clip some of it over this weekend so we can get some of it up. And I'm hoping that we can. Well, maybe we'll see if I can get super locked into the NBA. I'll do something for the NBA as well. And we'll go from there. But I'm very happy I was able to get back to this. I will see y'all on Monday. I'll probably have stuff posted up on Instagram and YouTube Shorts and TikTok of some of these awards that we had. So I was very happy to promote these. And of course, and also, I saw, if you're new to the channel, the state of Ohio. Go ahead and subscribe. Oh, well, I just went. So, I guess that's it. I got nothing else for you else tonight. I'm going to go out. Hopefully not all my beer's gone, and I could open to a brewski or two. But y'all, have a good night, and I will see y'all on Monday for some more free refill. Bye, guys. Oh, almost knocked over my mic. That would have been catastrophic.